lovely day, huh?
How are you, man?
I'm okay. How's everything?
Not
Good
bad.
to see you too.
Please.
Oh yeah. We're in London. There's heavy.
What's happening with you? Because I know you're very busy. We're always trying to catch up with you, and you're basically always abroad here or in America, Kuwait, Dubai, and so on. So let's start from the beginning. I just want to start from when you started, because I've known you since you were 18, 19.
Yeah.
And you were this big when you were 18, 19, right?
Yeah, that was quite big.
So when did you start training?
Well, it all started when I was 13.
Uh-huh.
And
Wow.
yeah, I started when I was in Kuwait. I used to be a kickboxer back then.
Uh-huh.
And then when I broke my leg, my thighs, they had
Okay.
to put a metal plate.
Oh, wow.
And I wanted to get back to kickboxing feeling stronger.
Uh-huh.
Because, you know, I haven't walked for like 6 months and everything.
Wow.
They did me a surgery, a metal plate. So I wanted to get stronger in the weight room. So young, 13, walking in the gym, you know, just actually trying to get instructed by a couple of instructors. I know here it's not allowed in London, but in Kuwait, it's allowed to work out.
Yeah. So you started training at 13.
13, I fell in love with it, and I wanted to take it to the next level.
Wow. And I mean, when I saw you when you were 18, I think you competed in I think it was called the EFBB back then, right?
Yeah, the UK IPB.
That's right. How did you do in that? I mean,
it was my first show, and I was quite nervous. Won the whole show in London, and
Wow.
then I got qualified for the UK Junior British Champion.
Wow.
And I actually just won, and that's where I actually took over. I wanted to actually expand my knowledge, expand what I do in this field, and take it to the next level.
Okay, so you did that bodybuilding. I mean, are you a qualified personal trainer? Did you do any qualifications?
Yeah, YMCA level 3.
Okay, and you started out training people and so on, because I'm going to get on to the juicy stuff in a minute. I was just explaining that
Juicy Lucy.
You've trained some serious people. So so you did this competition and you fell in love with bodybuilding. When did you start actually having this huge client base of people that you train? When did they start coming to you?
They started coming at the age of 20.
Okay.
It's an expand. It was like a buzz. It was my passion to take people over and change their lifestyle, flab to fabulous.
Yeah.
Because I suffered doing this in my process when I was 13.
Mm-hmm.
Even though maybe I was quite blessed with genetics.
Yeah.
But you know, even some body parts needs to break genetics and take it to the next level.
Yeah.
So I started to actually research, and magazines can sometimes confuse you. Who gives you the right question?
Yeah.
Who gives you the false answers? You know, you get kind of confused with questions and answers being, some people agree, some people disagree. So I wanted to actually discover it on my own.
Mm-hmm.
I discovered on my own body type, and then I started just to take some clients over for free, just for me to see what I can do.
Okay.
And it was kind of tough, because free clients sometimes don't believe in you because you're doing them something for free.
That's right. Whenever you do it for free, they don't appreciate it.
Yeah, it was through trials and errors. It wasn't easy, because even once you do your course, level 3, personal trainer, it teaches you just the basics. For example, if you throw a trainer in a weight room that just has dumbbells and barbells, he might tell you, I might not be able to do this exercise or this exercise. So if you're in a gym, you try to work with what's around you.
Yeah.
If there's no leg press, what you gotta do, you gotta squat, free squats.
Yeah.
You can lunge, you can superset. So you kind of combine all these knowledge, experience, and expertise with your qualification, put them all together. But it didn't stop there.
Okay, because you I mean, what age did you go to America and start training all these celebrities?
It was 22, I believe.
So it was a couple of years after.
Yeah, it was 22. It was a couple of years after I won my British champion. I wanted to get my pro card here. I used to live here in you remember?
Yeah.
So I really wanted to get my pro card, and it was a confusion. Age of 21, 22 was a confusion, because I took a year off to be over 21, enhance my body maturity. There's something called muscle maturity.
Yeah.
I wanted to actually enhance by taking a year off, fixing my body weak points, whether it was my arms. I don't think so. Now I got explosive arms.
You're not weak.
Yeah, it was. I wanted to take a year off.
Yeah.
Bring out my weak body part.
Yeah.
And be 100% ready to win my pro card. I didn't want to get on the stage and not get it. At the same time, I got a call from my friend, a very good friend of mine. I used to train him. He was a bodyguard, a celebrity bodyguard. And he was like, do you know Timbaland? I was like, I think so, yeah. I was like, isn't that producer, artist who produced for Jay-Z, who produced for Madonna, for Justin?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. It was like, well, he actually wants to see you, because he came a month and a half back. He saw how fat I was.
Yeah.
And he came a month and a half later, and he saw me looking fabulous.
Because you've been accredited with actually doing his most major transformation.
Yeah.
Going from, well, not flabby Mr. Timbaland, but you know, a little bit on the flabby side to ripped, basically.
Yeah, he looked quite ripped in 6 weeks also. I'll tell you how it all started. So he's still young. I took a year off. Imagine this, Baham, just try to put it in your head. You worked hard for a whole year, you're there, you're ready, you're on point, and then you get an offer from the biggest celebrity, biggest producer.
At the time, he really was. He was huge.
Exploding.
Yeah.
It was his peak. So he was hosting MTV. So when I went to see him, he was like, all I know is your name is Zee, and you transformed this man's body within 6 weeks.
Yeah.
A month and a half ago, like, I was in London shooting 4 Minutes to Save the World with Justin and Madonna.
Yeah.
I didn't see him like that. What happened? I don't want to know. I want you this week, if you can, to travel with me to Miami and get me ready for the MTV event. 2007 it was, I think. Yeah. It was in 2007, and I was like, whoa, in my head.
But you say that, but you're actually very down to earth. You don't, this kind of fame and all these things, it doesn't go to your head. You're really kind of chilled about these things.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. At my peak, I was young for him. Back then, it was like, I was too young, and I actually did bring my head up a bit, you know.
Okay.
I kind of did separate myself at the beginning.
Yeah.
But it was just overwhelming at the start. Because once I took the opportunity, and I went with Tim.
Because you were staying with him, there's all these celebrities coming into his house.
I mean, Baham, imagine this, right? 22-year-old who was purely living bodybuilding and diet and nutrition. When I went there, I had to actually just look after him because it was just too overwhelming to me.
Wow.
And I wanted just to actually get him on point. I didn't worry about myself because I know I can actually go out of shape and come back in shape, and this is the kind of challenges that I been doing ever since I was 13, discovering, doing. So I kind of understood my body type. So my main focus was him. And
you made a huge change in his body, so you were the right choice for him. And subsequently, loads of other celebs came to you to transform their bodies.
Yeah.
Your career took off from there, really.
Yeah, it did really take off. I didn't expect it to take off that way. I mean, because I was too locked down to win my pro card. It was an experience because being around celebs for him is just like, I never expected to be out in parties every night.
Wow.
Every night there's a studio, and I gotta make sure that Tim eats right, because 70% is your diet, 20% is your training, 10% is your recovery. Now celebs don't actually believe in something called recovery or anything like that. I know him, mainly him. He doesn't believe in recovery. He doesn't sleep that much. He sleeps every 2-3 hours. He's just in the studio from 1 o'clock all the way down till 11 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. But did he listen to you? Did he follow what you said, or he was kind of, I'm the music man, I do what I want?
At the beginning, everybody listens to you.
Okay.
Right. At the beginning, it gets hard at the end, because you know, you kind of do the whole thing over and over again. You get those munchies. You want to actually snack here, there.
Yeah.
So the first 3 weeks it was fine. 4th week he started to kick in.
Okay.
4th week I had to go in and pull him out, and the only thing that motivates him is, Tim, that you never used to get into this clothes, now you can get into this clothes.
Okay, so he saw a change.
He doesn't, he remembers it, he stands up.
Okay.
4th week was the hardest week with him, right? Because I just couldn't, it was constantly, eat this, don't go there. I used to come in his house open the fridge. I know that he eats those ice cream, Häagen-Dazs, puts them in the microwave and just melts them up and just drink it.
Wow.
I never used to see anybody that does that, but actually tastes good.
Okay, I want to move on from
Yeah.
him. So you, I mean, it started with him. You moved on to, I mean, I was just explaining that you were training Leonardo DiCaprio. You've been associated with Madonna, P. Diddy, lots and lots of celebs. Some of whom I know are confidential, and you can't really say that you trained them. So that's fine. So you're actually, you're not really. I mean, I'm trying to explain to the audience here that a lot of people say they're celebrity trainers or whatever, but they don't really train celebs. But you've trained like A-listers, Hollywood stars, music stars, and so on. So moving on from there, because I know you still have a huge client base of celebrities that pay you quite a lot of money to fly and just train them in their houses and so on. But how did you end up back in Kuwait?
Good question. It was my mother. My mother got sick. My sister called me up and she was like, you need to be home. I think my mom don't feel well. She has diabetes, blood pressure. Flew right there, took a week off, and I just picked up a handbag. And believe it or not, I went down to Kuwait and I just stayed there.
Really?
Yeah, I just had to give a call.
And is she okay?
Yeah, she actually, life is just, it's unbelievable. Once you got hope, the magical things can happen, and
because
she's actually good.
People think that you've kind of given this American celebrity training lifestyle, and you're in Kuwait, small country, nothing like America. But in Kuwait, you're a bit of a superstar now. I mean, everybody in Kuwait. Okay, it's a small place, but everybody knows you. So, what did you do there? Because you're an entrepreneur. I mean, you're quite a successful entrepreneur. So you went back to Kuwait. Your mom, thankfully, is better now. How did you start this kind of huge empire of yours there?
I had to blend in, and I had to do a grand appearance. I had to introduce myself not to Kuwait, but the Gulf country.
Okay.
And going from London, America, Kuwait, it was overwhelming because I'm used to my freedom, and being around celebs, I got used to parties, I got used to the nightlife, and being in Kuwait, got trapped. I had to just look
totally
and put, I had to put my head in somewhere, and it was in making business, and making a sound, that makes a big noise that people can notice me. And I've learned a lot, by the way, over the years I've been through, how successful people, how entrepreneurs make it.
Yeah, because you're an observer of people.
A big observer, almost like a sponge.
Yeah.
It was something that I wanted to take things into consideration, and I used to learn from the successful people, but then I figured out you should learn from people who did not succeed. Why
they did?
Why they haven't succeeded.
Okay, so you started your personal training business in Kuwait, which went through the roof, really.
Yeah.
And now you've got this Healthylicious chain of restaurants. So I mean, just run me through that. How did that come about?
Well, Healthylicious, my baby, my business. It's a restaurant. It's a hip restaurant. When I came to Kuwait, after people ask me like, where have I been? I mean, my old school people, and they've been watching my Facebook and everything.
Yeah.
And people didn't know me, and they got to know me. They just approached me. I got people from royal families that heard that I was trained for celebs. Kuwait is actually kind of small.
Yeah. I know you trained some of the royal family of UAE. I don't know if I can say it, but anyway.
No, you can say they don't mind. Sheikh Nasser from Bahrain. I mean, I've been there with him.
Yeah.
How
did you start your restaurant? I mean, where did that idea? Because I know you eat healthily, and you've had all these recipes for these celebs and so on. So did you start getting demands for it? How did it start?
I'll tell you. Well, actually, when I was training celebs, it was a big new experience for me. I discovered that there are big babies first week, trying to make Tim eat healthy. First week it was joy. So we had to figure out, me and the chef, we had a chef with him,
Yeah.
And we had to discover some way how he should eat healthy, losing weight, and indulge food, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And not look at the food and feel, oh my God, I gotta eat it. So that's when we started to do trials and errors, recipes after recipes, and we actually come up with hot recipes. And I just took it as another passion that I thought, ooh, that should be part of my list.
Yeah.
They're not bodybuilders. Bodybuilders would close their eyes and eat anything just to get to their target.
So you started Healthylicious. I mean, you've got a few branches now, and it's growing. It's growing all over the place, right?
Yeah, alhamdulillah. You know what? I've actually put my heart and soul to it. It started off as a hobby. I'll be honest with you, because I took a small shop in Kuwait. It was for my clients basically, because I couldn't trust their chefs that tried to make them, because those high-profile clients are just like celebrities. They're big babies. They like to eat everything they want, and they think they can lose weight within a week. Come on, you gotta. It's if you want to reach somewhere, it will be a mountain, but try to keep that mountain kind of low by moving recipes around and making it more of a lifestyle, something that you can indulge and everything. So that's where I actually did my own restaurant.
So the recipes come from you, basically. You are
from
in charge
scratch,
of them.
from the sauces, from everything in the menu. It was from me.
It's all you.
Yeah.
Okay. And okay, so the chain of these restaurants is actually expanding, and I know you've got, because I just want to let the people out there know what it is you do exactly, because you know you're on social media, you've got a huge following, hundreds of thousands of people, you've got the chain of Healthylicious, you've still got your personal training business in Kuwait and abroad, and you still have these celebs that fly you out to get your advice and all that. There's something very interesting that happened to you. Well, it's not interesting, it's actually terrible, that people don't know about, and actually you are the first person and the only person that I've ever met that has actually died. So can you just tell us, I mean, I'm laughing, but it's not funny, but you know, you actually died. You actually physically died.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
so
actually.
What happened? I mean, what happened there?
Well, first of all, let me correct you, Pam. It wasn't something terrible. It was something actually beautiful experience. All started back in 2014. I had even my son aboard in Kuwait while visiting in his holidays. We went out for like go-karting. We were having fun. Came back home. All of a sudden, I couldn't breathe, and I couldn't exhale out. I couldn't inhale in. I could exhale out.
Wow.
But I couldn't inhale in. And for some reason, my heartbeat started to beat too fast. And I went down to the hospital. They took me straight away to the intensive care, and they actually tried to bring my heart rate down. After that, I just opened my eyes. It turned out to be I was there on a Tuesday night, and all of a sudden when I opened my eyes, it was on a Sunday.
Wow.
Yeah, so can you imagine what happened? First hour I woke up, crossed the eyes, kind of confused. Where am I? What's happening? I forgot everything. I forgot my name.
Wow.
So I forgot what was happening, but I saw my sister there. I saw the nurses. My mom didn't know I was in the hospital. They thought I was in Dubai training a client. Yeah. So after an hour, once I remembered, I was like, oh my God. He told me everything that happened. And then,
what happened? Do they know what happened?
Yeah, they know what happened. Basically, they were like, I got a heart attack.
Oh my God! At what age?
It was 2 years ago. So I was 30.
Oh my God! So it was actually a heart attack.
Yeah, it was a heart attack, and I've got a heart failure.
Oh my God!
Because once I remembered everything, I got work, I got commitments. You know what I'm? You know, once you run your own business,
your health is going to go at 30, right?
No, because I was feeling powerful. That's the thing. I was feeling too good. I was feeling too happy, too good, too strong, and I couldn't remember anything. That's the only thing that could confuse me.
Wow.
So after that 3-4 hours, once I remembered what happened, and it just kept on expanding. So the doctor was like, you won't be able to walk. Do you know what happened to you? You got a heart attack.
Oh my God.
We've announced you died. Your heart stopped for 4 or 5 minutes.
Wow.
And they actually had to get the electric shock thing to get me up. They did it twice, and my heart didn't get back. apparently from what they said, that they don't recommend to hit it more than twice because the body burns and everything. But one doctor asked them to actually just try it one more time and to see if my heart gets back or not. And that's when my heart came back to life.
So why do you say it was a good thing?
I will tell you. So once my heart beat it back again, I went straight into a coma. From that coma, I woke up on a Sunday.
Wow.
So he was like, your body is not strong enough to be able to walk again. Maybe I need the physiotherapy to teach me how to walk again.
Wow.
I was like, what is he talking about? Because seriously and honestly, I was feeling very, very strong. Sorry to say this, Baham, but if they didn't have that thing, that, you know, they had to put a tube down there and to be able to suck you in, I would have actually took it and ran out.
Oh my God.
So the second day, I had to keep on insisting to show them that I can walk and I'm fine. And I don't know what they're talking about.
But why was it a good thing? Why? What?
Because I learned.
What did you learn? I mean, what did? Because you're quite wise and you're like these old philosophers and so on. Is that because of what happened? Because it did change you, right?
It changed me a 360 degree. I mean, let's know this.
360 takes you back to where you were.
No. Then the opposite way.
Okay.
Yeah. It kind of changed me 100%. And it made me realize, maybe a lot of people know this here.
Yeah.
A lot of people know this here. That in this life, you don't take nothing with you. By the way, I did some madness back in my days.
I know some crazy times.
Some crazy wild times. I used to lie to girls just to sleep with them. I just got to be very honest with you. I was a troublemaker, being a big dude, you know what I mean? And a kickboxer combined together. It just, I was like kind of a bully on the street. And I kind of realized, man, money, none of that you take from life. But the thing is, I'm producing a movie about this, and we'll go more in depth of what I've seen and heard.
Well, you got all the context for a movie.
Yeah, I mean, we'll do this movie at one point, somewhere around 3-4 years later. Not something now, but we'll actually think about it.
Okay,
it's what I heard and what I've seen, Baham.
Yeah.
I'll just give something out, right? And I remembered that 3-4 hours later, I heard a noise tell me, look around you. You don't take one penny from this life. Not that you take stress or anything. You just take your good deeds. And more to it, but once the movie's out.
Okay. So tell me this. The thing that obviously the audience out there want to know is, how did you get your body? Maybe you can share some of the training tips and diet tips that you hand out to the celebs out there for free for us. So how do you get so big? How do you train? I mean, you are massive, man. Your arms are huge. What's your training like? How do you train? What's your secret?
There is not much of secret to it. Mostly number one thing is you gotta dedicate. A rule of a thumb, I took an advice. A proper entrepreneur should have seven businesses per month.
Okay.
Yeah, so 7 businesses in the same chain. So let's say I started off as a health fanatic. I started all off in kickboxing and bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So I combined my personal training business along with my nutrition business, along with my restaurant business, along with my clothing line business that's coming out soon also.
Wow.
And along with supplement store that's going to be opening up in Kuwait in 2 to 3 weeks, inshallah. It's called Shredded Diesel Station, and will carry the most premium supplements in the store. And not to speak about the best of the best, we're bringing down LA Muscle to Kuwait. And it actually did a big impression, because we did quite a few reviews on the products. We spoke on them. A lot of people went in Kuwait and the Middle East. They went to research what is LA Muscle in UK. A lot of people were familiar about it. Who wasn't familiar were super shocked of the feedback, of people's reviews, and they can't wait to bring it down to Kuwait.
Okay. Well, we all know how good LA Muscle supplements
are. It's
are.
Absolutely fabulous. I'll tell you this, I gave some samples out in Kuwait. Yeah, in my restaurant, we put it in delivery bags, and we just put some samples out and see people's feedback. Whoever gives us a feedback, he gets his next meal for free.
Okay.
So just to get people, I wanted to see people's feedback on the product and get more of a buzz, because I want them to know quality over quantity. A creatine monohydrate from a different brand and a creatine monohydrate from LA Muscle, for example.
It's pharmaceutical grade.
Absolutely. It's pharmaceutical grade. It just, you'll feel the difference. It's
Zee, are you going to share some secrets with us or what?
Secrets, yes.
I want to know, just let's have some secrets.
Sick.
How do you get big? How do you get big fast?
You got to eat well, and you got to eat a lot. You got to eat big to get big.
Like, you got to eat like a bodybuilder to look like a bodybuilder.
You got to, you want to eat like a bodybuilder, then you got to train and eat like a bodybuilder, and you got to eat big to grow like a bodybuilder.
Okay, how do you get lean? Let's say we're July and I don't know, let's say I'm going on holiday in August, which I'm not. Let's say if somebody was, how do you get ripped in 4 weeks?
You gotta pay up for something. Oh, come on, Baham.
Typical entrepreneur.
Come on, Baham. To get ripped,
4 weeks. I got 4 weeks, let's say. I just want to see my
It's quite easy. A little bit of six-pack pill extreme.
Okay. Apart from selling us supplements.
No. I'm actually being honest. Six-pack pill extreme.
Okay.
I'll start with my supplements. Six-pack pill extreme. Bloat no more. Sculpt. Diet weight. I focus on these first, along with Norotine heavyweight.
What about eating?
I actually bring down my calories by dropping down my carbs. Not too low. Probably like just roughly, I start off my first week with 500 calories below.
Okay.
And I keep on bringing it down while bringing my cardio level up.
So cardio up, calories down.
Calories down. And I actually just keep my training very, very simple. I don't change
carbs? Do you eat carbs when you're trying to?
I do. I don't believe in low carbs things. I bring my carbs quite low, not too low. Believe it or not, I don't go below. My lowest is 200 grams.
Wow.
My lowest is 200 grams per day. And I know people who actually go on zero carbs. You cannot be afraid from carbs.
Okay.
You need carbs to get lean and ripped.
How much cardio is it?
I don't believe more than 30 minutes. If you actually eat right and train right, 30 minutes will do the job.
And would you say older people need to do more, or it kind of applies?
It depends. It depends from genetics to genetics.
You've actually got good genetics, because I don't know if people know this. Your first cousin is actually the Sword, which is an LA Muscle athlete.
Sword,
8 times Mr. London, right?
Yeah.
So genetics for you is good, but does it play a role, you think, in how people can transform themselves?
You might have a good genetics in getting ripped, but not have good genetics in growing. You might have good genetics in growing and getting ripped, and vice versa, right? My hard genetics was to actually grow. To be honest with you,
really,
yeah, to grow, that's quite hard for me. And there was one point in my life when genetics changed. It was easier for me to grow and eat, and harder for me to get lean. As your body, year in, year out, your body goes through changes, and you got to discover that. Not only with yourself, and with other clients. And that's what I've actually mastered.
Yeah, you personalize their programs for them.
And I'll be honest with you, maintaining your body, once you reach the point that you like, and you got to the point that you want it, because not a lot of people get satisfied where they want to be.
Okay.
To maintain is even harder than achieving bodybuilding, or achieving getting fit and ripped. Maintaining is too hard.
Zee, what's your views on steroids? And be honest.
Okay. Will I get locked up here?
No.
Okay.
You know, everyone each to their own, right? But you must have a view on it. So
I have.
People are interested.
Yeah.
What's your views on steroids?
A couple of the questions that I got. Did you take steroids? Is that why your heart stopped? I mean, to be fully honest with you, Parham, I did take steroids. and it was part of my experience and expertise.
Yeah.
I wanted to discover every big and small in bodybuilding.
For yourself, basically.
And for myself.
Yeah.
And to be able to answer questions. And I know I put my life in my threat, but let me explain this. Steroids do give you side effects.
Mm-hmm.
And no matter how many doctors are behind you and may back you up with research approved documents, it's never too safe. You risk your body. But 2014 had nothing to do with steroids or anything, because in the movie you actually get to see what happened and results, papers, how everything was fine, and then everything, how everything when I was in intensive care was absolutely, my records was horrible.
Yeah.
All the results was bad, super bad.
So it wasn't as a result of
steroids,
your
nothing.
Previous experimentation that you had a heart attack.
No,
that's for sure.
No, that's 100% different. We had my drop in the hospital 2014 had nothing to do with steroids, because the documents actually approved it. 8 days later, once I woke up, they did the results again, and everything was perfect. And that's where the shock comes in. And that's where you guys are gonna have to be tuned in and watch a movie.
Women, are you seeing someone? Because you do have a lot of female fans.
I used to.
You used to have a lot of female.
No. I used to. I used to. What do you call it? I used to mess around with women a lot. But
okay, but what about now? You settled?
Yeah, well settled, and it's hard to be settled down, because you know, us men, our eyes look around, and I came to realize sticking to one woman gives you a blessing karma in life, because you don't end up lying to this girl and that girl and this girl, and it affects your life, because karma is there. Once you dedicate to one girl that you know she's right for you, that she backs you up in every single thing that you do.
And how long have you been with this girl of yours?
It was 6 years.
Wow.
7 years. 7 years, yeah. She's from Iran. She's from you. Where you come from?
Iran, yes.
Persia.
Okay.
So, yeah, she backs me up with my work, through my ups, through my downs. You know, even when we sometimes argue, I've learned to actually control my anger, and it's just a huge change of a lifestyle where I'm just focused at one girl.
Yeah. And
I'm just focusing on.
Seems to have grounded you. You seem to be very grounded, very focused.
Yeah, very, very focused. It's something I'm still shocked to this day, and I'm actually discovering new things every single week.
What's coming up for you? So what's coming up? What's Shredded Diesel going to be doing in the next year?
Good question. I don't want to throw all my cards, but some of the things that I want to let the people see and to be tuned in. For the next 3 months, plans are: we're opening 2 more Health Delicious in Kuwait. We're opening my first store of supplements, which we mentioned, Shredded Diesel Station. I'm opening another restaurant called Hakuka Boutique. Okay. You guys are the first people to let you know about it. Exclusive. Nobody. And if you check my Instagram palm, right, you won't see it posted over there. It's a restaurant, which is a regular restaurant, and it has a small menu of a diet. Let's say you come out with your girlfriend. You're on a diet. She's not on a diet. She's on a diet. You're not on a diet. So you guys, so you got that small menu. Hakuka Boutique. It's named after an Arabic name that we do burgers, sliders, and all sort of amazing things that you guys will have to see it for your own. Okay. Well, look, it's been fantastic to see you. Oh, and not to mention we're opening in Oman and Qatar in the next 3 months. Now I don't want to go, man. I'm holding to your to the seatbelt. I'm staying right here. Anyway, it has been fantastic to see you, and I hope the people out there enjoyed your interview. It's been a nice sunny day around London. I'm going back to Gibraltar. You're going back to Kuwait, and we hope to see you again soon. I hope you don't mind me dropping you here in the middle of nowhere, but I've got things to do, so I'll see you soon. So you just take it and leave it right now. Told me out of nowhere.